this UFC card that's going to take place on the White House lawn. How do you decide the headliner?
John Jones has made it clear I want to do this, and he sent me a text apologizing and all that stuff, but I need people that I can seriously rely on for this one. People talk shit about Conor. Conor is a guy that literally will fight anybody.
But does he care enough to actually make a fight right now?
He and I have been talking nonstop, and he's like, I'm dead serious. I want this. So we'll see.
Nice kill, strike shooter. It's one of my own. I guess you want to do Congratulations, sir. I tell you what, your work ethic is inspiring. Your work rate is inspiring.
To be fighting on the White House card, I mean, he announced it.
Deal signed, delivered. It ain't a negotiation. Wow. McGregor will compete in the White House.
Michael Chandler announced it. They went on Fox Sports. They've been all over the place talking about it. Michael Chandler's been sitting around like a good little boy for about 3 years now. Well, he ain't going to be on the card, right? Dana White came out recently and said they've kind of moved on from that.
I know there's like all the talk of Michael Chandler and Conor. Do you see like that as like a realistic thing?
No, I mean, that was a couple years ago.
And I guess
this is a pivotal moment. What once seemed like a pipe dream, a White House card featuring Conor McGregor, and a Michael Chandler fight that appeared dead in the water, is suddenly very much alive. Anyone thinking the biggest star in combat sports is out should think again. While initial reports about the White House event may have cooled, McGregor is a master of comebacks, both inside and outside the octagon, and his recent moves prove this isn't just hype. The event is real, the notorious fighter is in play, and this isn't another rumor. It's a potential game changer for the UFC.
Except waiting on my contract. Now that tweet recently got deleted as well. One would assume, right, reading between the lines, could be wrong, that he's telling the truth, that he got the offer, they've agreed an opponent, and he was very excited, so he tweeted about something, then he was like, oh shit, I'm not supposed to say anything yet, or whatever, so he deleted it, okay? And obviously, it's a nice little PR move, it generates some interest for Conor McGregor, and the interest for Conor McGregor, he doesn't need to generate interest, let's be honest, okay? Everyone is still very much gonna tune in. There's a lot of people out there going, oh yeah, he's had his best time, you know, he lost his last few and all.
This is vintage Conor McGregor, a cryptic tweet, quickly deleted, hinting at an opponent and a contract, followed by the classic oops, spilled the beans moment. Whether it's a calculated PR stunt or genuine excitement getting the better of him doesn't really matter. What it shows is that the White House card is real. McGregor is locked in, negotiations are clearly advanced, and he has masterfully ignited speculation, leaving every MMA fan buzzing. He may not need to generate interest, but he certainly knows how to stoke the fires of anticipation for what could be the biggest return in UFC history.
He's firing on the White House card. You're all going to tune in. Everyone's going to tune into the White House card anyway. But the question is, who is he going to face? Now, I'm going to throw it out there. Yes, Jorge Masvidal was calling him out recently. I did a video on that. Masvidal came on my podcast, Believe You Me. If you don't watch the Believe You Me podcast, what are you doing with yourself? Call yourself an MMA fan. If you want to watch some good content and have some funny laughs, okay? Tune in.
You heard him. Folks, pure nonsense to think anyone wouldn't tune in for a Conor McGregor fight on the White House card. The speaker hits the nail on the head. Regardless of recent records or time away, McGregor is still the sport's biggest draw. The million-dollar question now is who will step into the octagon with him, and the mention of Jorge Masvidal immediately sparks speculation. Gamebred has been actively campaigning for this matchup, and his style promises fireworks. This isn't just a fight, it's a spectacle, and Masvidal knows exactly how to deliver one.
Recently, and he said that he's coming back. He's got unfinished business. He's going to take over, that this generation of fighters, they're all crap, and he's going to come in, take over. He's got unfinished work to do.
McGregor 3, I want to fight maybe Dustin Poirier if he's subject to the pussy, and then maybe Mike Perry. Let's see what happens in the future, though.
And someone said, what about the White House? He's like, oh yeah, that'd be dope too.
Yeah, the White House would be perfect.
You're the man.
Now, we've talked about this many times, of course.
Nate Diaz, the original gangster, always keeps it real. His recent declaration of unfinished business and criticism of the current generation of fighters sets the stage for a massive return. When the White House was casually mentioned as a potential venue, it only added to the excitement. It just screams iconic. The fact that he immediately connected it to Conor McGregor speaks volumes. A trilogy fight with McGregor isn't just a fantasy. It's a grudge match with history tied at one win apiece. This isn't just about a fight. It's about reclaiming legacy and settling a score that captivated the entire world.
He was a
Surprise, mother.
when he choked out Conor McGregor, and of course they fought again. Conor came back. It was another great performance. He dropped him with leg kicks. He dropped him with every left hand that he threw. But it was a war, and Diaz made him work, and Diaz even had Conor running away at one point because he was getting a little bit tired. But the fact of the matter is that those were two of the most watched fights in UFC history, much like all of Conor McGregor's fights, okay? He is by far and large.
The speaker perfectly recounts the legendary rivalry between Nate Diaz and Conor McGregor. From Diaz's stunning upset submission to McGregor's hard-fought revenge, these fights weren't just battles. They were cultural phenomena that shattered pay-per-view records. This segment reminds us why a trilogy fight is so captivating. It's not just a matchup of styles, but a clash of personalities and unfinished narratives. Emphasizing McGregor as the biggest star on the planet reinforces that any opponent for the White House event must match that level of magnitude, and Diaz certainly fits the bill.
Rather watch that than Michael Chandler, respectfully. But Nate Diaz 3? Now Nate Diaz is still a draw, right? People love Nate Diaz. He has got cult-like status in the mixed martial arts world, just like his brother. And his brother Nick, by the way, he said recently that he's going to come back as well. He said, maybe I was getting it confused. Maybe he said this new generation of fighters. He's only 42 years old. He's cleaned up his act. He's been to rehab and stuff like that. Of course, last time we saw him...
This clip perfectly captures fan sentiment. While Masvidal is a popular choice over Chandler, the real excitement is around Nate Diaz 3. The speaker explains why Diaz remains such a massive draw. His cult-like status is undeniable, a sentiment reinforced by his brother Nick's recent talks of a comeback. This isn't just about skills, it's about the aura. A fighter like Diaz, with his raw honesty and don't give a f***ck attitude, brings an electric energy that few can match for a historic event like the White House card. You need a legendary opponent, and Diaz fits that bill perfectly, regardless of recent form.
Next time out, it was against Jorge Masvidal at the Honda Center. I was there. The Honda Center is a huge arena. It's where they have a lot of the UFCs. Masvidal and Nate Diaz, they threw down. They went the distance, 10 rounds, and what a fight that was. Nate Diaz got the decision. I thought it should have went to Jorge Masvidal, but it was bloody entertaining, and everyone in the building was thrilled, apart from Jorge Masvidal, because he never got paid. But he has just been announced the winner in a lawsuit. I forget how much it is now. It's like $5 million, something like that. So they've got to pay Jorge Masvidal.
This segment provides a crucial update on both Nate Diaz and Jorge Masvidal outside the UFC, directly impacting their potential for the White House card. Their recent boxing rematch, though controversial in its decision, shows they can still deliver an entertaining war. The real game changer, however, is Masvidal's recent $5 million lawsuit win. This not only gives Gamebred a financial boost, but could also clear hurdles for him to return to the spotlight. Both fighters are active, relevant, and hungry, making either an extremely viable, high-stakes opponent for McGregor's highly anticipated return.
A chance, something unexpected, something to get the fans really, really excited about. And of course, it is a bit of a throwback. And they do have unfinished business. Now, of course, there is unfinished business for Dustin Poirier and Conor McGregor as well. Of course, Conor McGregor would love another crack at Dustin Poirier because in the second fight, he got knocked out.
The speaker's conviction is palpable. Nate Diaz versus Conor McGregor 3 is a very real and incredibly exciting possibility. He perfectly frames it as something unexpected yet nostalgic, a throwback exactly what a historic White House event needs. This isn't just a fight, it's the culmination of a legendary rivalry with unfinished business that fans have been clamoring for since their second bout. While the mention of Dustin Poirier reminds us of other significant chapters for McGregor, the original trilogy with Diaz carries a raw energy that could define his return. This matchup would be pure gold for the UFC.
And the bicep, okay? He's not doing that stuff. He's leaving his home of Louisiana and going to American Top Team. He's in American Top Team in Florida on the mats with world-class people. Dustin Poirier might have the itch, and that's what a lot of fighters struggle with. They really do, because it's all they've known. And yes, the money is one thing.
This clip highlights the profound psychology behind a fighter's comeback, relevant not just for Dustin Poirier, but for McGregor as well. The speaker's reference to Tyson Fury illustrates that for elite athletes, it's never just about the money. It's about purpose, passion, and the realization that their moment to shine is now. This mindset fuels the excitement for the White House event. We're not just witnessing a fight, but potentially a deeply motivated champion, whether it's Poirier or McGregor. This isn't just business. It's existential for these warriors, raising the stakes sky high.
Times, okay? He said that he was inspired by Anthony Joshua and those two poor gentlemen losing their life and then realizing that, hold on a minute, tomorrow is not guaranteed. What am I doing? I'm a boxer. I'm coming back. And of course, you can make a few quid at the same time. And you just love it. This is what you're put on the planet to do. So I don't know if it's going to be Dustin Poirier. I don't know if Dustin Poirier is coming back. What do you think about that? Let me know in the comment section.
This clip cuts straight to the chase about potential opponents for McGregor's White House return, decisively ruling out Michael Chandler, a long-standing rumor finally put to rest by Dana White himself. The speaker also offers key insight into McGregor's mindset. While a title shot is always possible, his immediate goal seems to be securing a massive payday, getting back to winning ways, and proving to himself and the world that he still has it. This strategic focus opens the door for high-profile, fan-favorite matchups like Diaz, Masvidal, or Poirier, promising an electrifying comeback rather than a slow climb to the title.
Masvidal, which one of them would you like to see him? Or is there someone else that I'm not considering? It won't be. It will not be Michael Chandler. Dana even confirmed that. Let me just bring up the UFC rankings really quick to see if there is anyone else. Because I don't think Conor, respectfully, he's looking at becoming a champion again. Of course, he would love to become a champion again. Of course, and he could potentially achieve that. It's not going to be easy against Ilia Topuria. But
this final segment perfectly summarizes the most compelling options for McGregor's White House return. The speaker dismisses current top contenders, emphasizing that this event calls for a throwback, something big that will truly blow fans away. Dustin Poirier, Jorge Masvidal, and especially a third fight with Nate Diaz are highlighted as matchups that would ignite the fan base and deliver the spectacle worthy of McGregor's comeback. This reinforces that the UFC is aiming for a historic moment, not just another fight, and these names guarantee exactly that. The White House card is shaping up to be legendary.